Hello, everybody. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Good to see you again. It's another week. It's another Wednesday. Thank you all for participating in the item direction and voting this week. Some really cool item suggestions. This is a lot of fun to put together. Yeah, as always, happy to see you guys. I'm seeing some familiar faces in the chat. Excited about it. Dom is being overly complimentary. So I think this is an interesting item. Not only do we only have, I think, a single rod, which is switch, which is like barely even a rod. It's a weapon in the guise of a rod. Hey, Arade, I'm happy to see you, buddy. Yeah, Coco, with the electric item 1 out, and we're making the making some rods, some like kind of modular rods that you can set up like an electric fence, which I think is a really neat concept, and it kind of fills this gap that, you know, there's like wall of stone, wall of ice and wind, and force and blades and everything else, but no electricity. Like what? So I think this is a good opportunity, and it's a really unique take on it. So that was a really good suggestion. I don't think there's a wall of lightning spell, man. Like, it's yeah, your sticks, man. Unless if there's a wall of lightning spell, it's not SRD, in which case I probably missed it somewhere along the line. Okay. Okay. Good. Glad I wasn't missing it. So I think that this is a really exciting thing that we get to work with today. Not only that, but the nature of the item itself kind of really lends itself to the thing that we're doing, right? Like lightning rods are very much so a thing. So I think that we have some really incredible and cool source material that not everybody might, you know, be familiar with. You know, like when was the last time that you went up and like really hung around with a lightning rod? Not that often, but they look really cool, just based on like kind of some of my initial research. So I think this is going to be like, I think these are going to look pretty gnarly. You're going to want to collect a lot of them. The actual balance of them is going to be like figuring out how much damage it does, how long it lasts, and how far apart the rods can be. Maybe 20 feet for fun. We'll say that just kind of loosely right now. Yeah. I hope you guys had a good week. I'm over here planning for Gen Con. Those of you who are hanging out in the Rod's One Naders. Yeah, those of you who I haven't played with Watson yet, Corey. Well, honestly, I haven't played any games recently. Maybe. What? Yeah, sure. Man, yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Dom. Yeah, kind of like not only give like some distance. I don't want to give too much though. So I'm thinking maybe just kind of like splay them out like this and show like bits of zaps in between. But over here at you know where I live, I've been working really hard on prepping for Gen Con. I've got stickers and stuff. Hang on, let me show some stickers. So if you're going to be at Gen Con, now not a lot of you have said that you were, but I just keep on hoping that I'm going to run into people. Anyway, so I got stickers. And if you get to see me or hang out with me, I'll give you a bunch of these, like, you know, really fun sticky guys. So you get to, you know, paste around, which I think is pretty neat. They fit, like they're a good size. I actually have, from when I first made an order of these months ago, for back in January, for those of you who were patrons back then. I even have like one of them on the back of my phone from back when the Saddlebag was a wee baby. I've got business cards and everything. It's exciting. But, you know, hoping to make some new friends and pass out some business cards. Be fun. And not only that, I looked at the map for Gen Con, and the two booths that I'm planning on hanging out with the most are the Eldritch Foundry, my friends there, the people who I'm working with, as well as my pals over at the Deck of Many. And they're catty corner to each other. Like you could throw one of my business cards and hit the other one. So it's just I'll be like in that zone a fair bit probably. Although that said, my partner Danny just said that she actually can make it after all. So I just got her a 4-day pass today, and we'll be out there hanging around Gen Con, exploring it. So it'll be a lot of fun. Okay, so I won't dawdle. Yeah, Nader. So I'm thinking they might be weighted on the bottom, or they also might be magnetic. So you can throw them, but they'll only land straight up if it's against like a metal surface or something, right? Like it'll land perpendicular to a metal surface. Otherwise you have to actually plant them, something like that. We'll see. And the throwing bit would only just be for the sake of like what's fun, right? And of course, it depends on like exactly like how much they do. If you can walk through them, if they are overly prohibitive in movement or damage, throwing them might be too much. So we'll see. We'll see how it does. Anyway, I won't dawdle anymore. Just so you can get an idea of what I'm looking at here. Got a bunch of rods here, which I think are pretty neat. Kind of splayed, like very, very satellite-y. Sure, yeah, I get that, Zap. But I also got these cool things. Like, lightning rods look pretty rad, guys. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing, Dom. Like, kind of like something kind of splayed and like a tripodal. This looks made up, but it's not apparently. Pharaoh, what? Oh, lightning rod points. That's interesting. Yeah, so you get this kind of like cool starburst effect in here. Here's another one of these kind of like splayed ones, and you can see on the base of these that it does have various little feetsies on it. What's this guy? That's boring. The kind of pine tree or little forked top is interesting. And we can even put the satellite thing on towards the bottom too. Yeah, a few of them are a bit lewd. Yeah, these look how mean these things look. These are gonna look so cool. Oh god, am I just like missing? Is there actually porn here? Am I missing porn? I don't think so. Okay, you guys would tell me if there were porn on my Google search, right? Because I don't want to get in trouble or nothing. I'm just here trying to make some art with my friends. Man, I wish I could tell you sprees. Maybe just like, I don't know, more surface area. I don't know. Like more points. I guess the lightning doesn't have to be quite as accurate. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Oh, vibrators. Oh, okay. That would do it. That's fine. Whatever. Sexual health is a thing. This is cool. Sure, yeah. We'll yeah. Let's do that. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, so I'm thinking like this kind of field from each one of them, right? Would look pretty cool. Like that'd be pretty cool too. Have kind of this like halo of electricity kind of circling around them. Getting very Iron Man 1 up in here. Yo, what's up, Cap? Good to see you, buddy. What's that? Who did that? Oh, Mike. Thanks for the fiver. I appreciate that, bud. Yeah, you're friends. Light grid dishonored. All right, sure. I'm gonna grab that guy. Let's take a look at that. I don't want to have to watch a video for it, but I will if I have to. Is it? This looks like... Nope. Wall of light. Thank you. Let's try that. Oh, that's pretty metal. Sure, sure. Are there more good pictures? Okay. Yeah. So because we have like so many cool lightning rod ideas, why don't we kind of like combine these various like lightning rods you can kind of like plant down with some of these kind of like coiled and like Tesla things. Again, we just kind of merge a bunch of these ideas together and see what we get. Like, and then that'll be fun. Oh, really? Everything's with whale oil. Like, I think like Futurama's using whale oil too, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, that looks pretty rad. Okay. So, we'll keep that up and we'll use, it's a good image here of a Tesla coil. Oh no, I think it should definitely look menacing. It's not fun if you just like suddenly zapped by something. That sucks. Just like I just don't think that's good gameplay. Okay, we'll keep this up. I think this is good. Oh, is this a better picture? It's bigger at least. This, and we'll grab this. And let's grab some of these guys. And we'll ignore there's a vibrator in here. Grab this guy. This guy. Ooh, this guy. Oh, sure. Yeah, just like send it to me on a private message in Discord, Mark. That's helpful. Yeah, some of them do look like rapiers too, Zap. Like, yeah, maybe I'll kind of keep some of these as backup for ideas in the future. Anything else of particular interest? Some of these even look like hunting arrowheads too, which is pretty wild. Okay, I think that we've exhausted some of the cooler ones up top. This one's okay. Eh. All right, let me grab that link you sent me. Thank you for that, Merc. All right. Yeah. That's neat. I'll turn my phone on silent so I don't make you guys think that you guys are getting notifications. Cool. So I think we have a lot of really cool source material that we can work from here. Guys ready to get started? Let's make some stuff. All right. I already got up a document here because I know what we're doing. Here you go. All right. So the first thing we always do, always make a new layer because we don't want to draw in the background because we can't do anything with it while it's there. The other really good thing here is that because these are like multiple of the same thing, we have to make one, and then we can start kind of like fiddle with it that way. Like we might need to like change some perspective things here and there, but for the most part, we're doing something really nicely once, and we're going to be able to kind of manipulate it from there. Okay. So let's just start with some sketches then. We got a rod. All right, we're done. Kidding. Let's actually, first thing we're going to do, why don't we actually grab some of these and we'll just bring them into the document. Just so we can kind of keep them here. Kind of keep them in mind whilst working. Yeah, you guys are forcing me to do wands and rods, things that I am historically not super hot at, or at least like not hot at remembering that they exist. Okay, I think that does it. Yeah, cool. So we can put this window away. Yeah, the wand was really cool. Like really good suggestions went into that. Stream, the chat during stream was great. I keep on hitting Charlie for that, and my my Photoshop shortcuts got reset somehow recently. Very frustrating if you're somebody who resets their or who customizes their shortcuts like I do. And I just haven't gotten all of them back in order. Okay. And actually, we're just gonna zoom in right up yonder up on these guys. Great. And we're gonna tuck these all in a single folder. Call it ref. And we're gonna tell it to go away. Only kind of. Actually, we're gonna just move it behind the rod here. And we're just gonna tell some of these more effect guys to go away. Actually, we'll keep this guy there. So those two go away. I'm actually gonna make a copy of this dev one. Of this first image from the devs of Dishonored, and I'm just gonna mask all of it out. Just so we can kind of see the bits that matter to us. All right. Oh, pecker. Okay. Go away, please. Thanks. Alrighty. So we got some stuff to play with. Yeah. So I think we're gonna be able to play around with metal here. For all we know, like adamantium is a good conductor. Cap, if you're still in here, this is your rum. Thank you for it, by the way. Alrighty. So let's start playing with this. I'm a big fan of like this guy and this guy with like some of the kind of coils and wrappings of these fellas. I think that the kind of like upward angle of these Johns is probably like a little bit distracting and looks it looks more like a barbed trap, I feel, right? Or something that you don't want to step on that, as opposed to something that's going to be shooting electricity around. I'd rather have like the legs be more kind of like that's what's sticking to the ground. But I really like this kind of Space Needle effect right here, because it looks very sturdy and stabilizing. And I can imagine like we'd have this kind of like halo electric field around it, kind of like what we were saying with some of those Tesla coils. So I think that we're going to be relying on that for the most part. yeah, Seth. I'm from outside of Philly. I'm like about an hour west of Philly. Cool. Mini Space Needles and Eiffel Towers. Yeah. So let's just go into the assumption that that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna start big, and we're always gonna make it smaller, because if you make it smaller, after you draw it big, it looks like you spent a lot more time on the detail work. Pro tip for illustrators out there. Oh, my dog is gonna start screaming in a second. Oh. Give me just a sec, guys. I'll be right back. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. I appreciate it. Let's get back to this. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. Yeah, yeah. We, Danny and I have had big days, so we wanted to kind of touch base on it real quick. And Pepper is extremely excited to see her, so she's making a ruckus. You can probably hear her squeaking a toy out there. Okay. So again, thanks for hanging out while I was off being a human elsewhere. All right, so we're just gonna kind of start from the top here, and we're gonna be working with the silhouette first. A lot of times I like to work with the silhouette. It just makes things easier to kind of get a sense of how it's filling in space, and to kind of get a sense of how it looks. If you talk about silhouettes, you think about in games, actually, like we mentioned Watson earlier from Apex, like her right there, I think it's actually like their silhouette is is different than everybody else's, right? So you can identify them at a distance. Same thing in like Team Fortress 2 and like everything. Everything with classes like Overwatch and stuff too. They all have different silhouettes. So silhouettes and kind of like the basic shape of thing, even if you can't see the details of it, are important. Alrighty. Well, Mike, I also did give her a sleepy treat, so she's a little snoozy. And guys, let me know if volume's okay. If anything is too loud. Well, I make this as pleasant an experience for your ears as possible, so you don't, blow them out or anything. Alrighty, so I'm just kind of mimicking what we're getting over here on this first one for the top, just because I think it's really neat. And to be honest, I probably should be using shapes for this. Yeah, I'm gonna use a shape for this. So we haven't done shapes too much on the stream yet. Shapes are handy because you can continue to fiddle with them. Oh my gosh, 4 German wild ones. Pepper is a she's a wee dog. She is a Chihuahua miniature pinscher. And she's very cute and she knows it. Oops. Yeah, pen tool. Pen tool's great. I don't spend as much time in Illustrator as I used to, but I still really enjoy kind of going back to the pen tool. So you'll see here I only did half of it again because we're gonna essentially be doing this once on the left side. We're just gonna flip it onto the right just to make it easier on us. And then from there, we can start making adjustments to perspective, or like if we wanted to have like one of these guys coming towards the camera, or the camera towards you, and the other one kind of pushing back into distance. So we'll probably do that in the end. And you know what? Just because this is like all electric-y, why don't we make this electric-y kind of here on the bottom, kind of like what they did with the javelin of lightning in the Dungeon Master's Guide. Cool. So right now that looks kind of like, it looks to me in my mind's eye as if it's like kind of bent in, but I need to remind myself that it's not. It's just jagged for visual effect. Might be better to do it this way. Yeah, we'll get there. Okay. So actually, I lied. I'm going to do this one now because we're just going to push this one back in space. Here we go. So this one's going to be going back in the distance. And I also kind of messed up that a little bit. So the nice thing about shapes is that you can continue to edit them really easily. Like that. Oh no, Dom. See you next time, buddy. Or when you get home. If you're on a computer. And if not, I hope your kids get to bed well. As is your historically how have you spent your time here? Oh man, Mike. All right. Well, thank you so much for hanging out for as long as you did, and thank you for the donation. Very kind of you. Really appreciate that. Always good seeing you guys here. Yeah, Nick. So I'm thinking like with what we got over here, I think we can make that look a little, maybe like a little unstable or something. Might be cool. A blue dragon scale's interesting. Yeah, if we kind of want to get like a little biotechy, that's interesting. Or like they have like a horn or something, right? In the art, might be worth just kind of grabbing that. Actually, let me double check that real quick, because a horn would be good for this. Look at that memory. Yeah. View full image. So we can do something with that. Oh, is that how Percy made diplomacy? I had forgotten that. That's been a minute. No whale oil. Yeah, you're right. It's a lot more it's a lot more sustainable. Oh man, Merc. All right. Oh man, a level 21 shot. That'll be fun. Well, good luck, bud. An organ of a Bahir. Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a while since I've watched Critical Role Season 1. So I'm just gonna duplicate this one, kind of push it back here too. This guy needs to be behind the other two. Okay. Just duplicate this now while we're at it. As long as I'm already breaking my promises. Let's move this now. And grab this and this and this. Scooch him up. Yeah, have fun, Merc. See you later, buddy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, all right, I'm way farther than you. I think I'm 20 episodes behind on season 2. Something like that. All right, yeah, Zap's got us beat. Oh, are you guys having a one shot on the Discord? That's cool if you are. Regardless, have fun, and I hope you don't die. Yeah, I might do that same thing. Erratum about with Crit Roll Season 2, because I mean I'm driving to Gen Con, and that's like a 9-hour drive, some change. So I might do it then. You weren't selected anchor point. That's a lie. Man, what happened here? Did I add an anchor point somewhere that I'm not remembering? What is happening? All right, that's a later problem. I'm not worrying about that right now. Yeah, right. I mean, I can get through a whole two or three episodes. They're all selected. There we go. Select this guy. Cool. All right, so those are looking all right. Now we can kind of start making this start to get like Tesla-y. And just kind of put some extraneous shapes in here, because really with something like this, you don't need that much sense in it. I just realized that this here is what goes in the ground. but it looks way cooler if it's pointed upward. So we're gonna keep on doing it this way. You know, I haven't thought about watching the recaps because I think those are new. Unless the recaps are handled by a fan or something. And Gen Con's like the first con I've been to in a while. Huh. Okay. Yeah, it's freezing. I'll take a look. Oh, okay. Danny doesn't. Yeah. I would love to watch them like while I work on these items like during the day, but I know myself plenty well enough to know that I won't be able to focus on any one thing. It'll just be me rewinding one and like needing to redo something over here, you know, in a piece over and over and over again. That's all it's gonna be. So these are going to be these kind of coily thingies. Maybe I should go like this instead. Yeah. Let's do that. Cool. So okay. So we're just gonna drop these one after the other down here like this, but we're gonna have to remake a few of them because the perspective is going to be a little bit different for them, and some of them are going to need to be like a bit more top down than the others. I also want to kind of like have them. And I kind of wanted to have them like scale a little bit too. Oops, one. Need to get pushed back. There we go. Cool. A little bit closer. It might be future work. No, I can do that now. There we go. Now, chances are we're gonna make one of these once we start putting in like details and stuff, and then I'm just gonna copy and paste that and remove all these silhouettes that I have right now. That's probably what's gonna happen. But in the meantime, we'll do this anyway. So we're actually going to be making this one a little more rounder towards the bottom, because towards the bottom we're going to be seeing more of like the tops, like more of it kind of coming towards us and away from us in distance. So I'm kind of showing some of that by doing this. For what it's worth, I think that Cord Naveros is like one of the most overlooked spells. I think it's so cool. That said, I've never been able to get it to work because I've played a ranger exactly once. So there's that. That was in that was in one of It's a D&D Monster Now's one shots back in the day too. So it's been a minute. Now, okay. So for the bottom here, we're gonna make this kind of like a base at the like this kind of wider base there. Yeah, 5e. It's freeze. And guys, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna cheat a little bit here. Just gonna trace this. Make it into a shape. Oh man, Pepper's throwing a tantrum for no reason. Oops. Oops. Hey, go away. There we go. There we go. So now we have this kind of base that we were talking about before. Let's just go ahead and grab these two while we're at it. Oh. LOL. That should be it. Duplicate them, just can get a sense of like how they're gonna look, something like that. And now here at the base, we're gonna be kind of doing one of these guys, but in reverse. Oh, I mean, for the for that kind of wire going around it, we're just gonna draw that in. There are way better spells for a level 6 bard to steal than Cordon of Arrows. I'd be upset if a bard in my game did that. Lore bard, mind you. Well, yeah. So what we're doing right now is like with logic. Like what we're doing here is like essentially each one of these tips or like ends is one of the differences. Is like the distance between the rods, right? Or the top and the bottom of the dishonored stuff. Just like imagine this guy here as this one rod, and then this guy as another rod. But that said, what we could do is have we could have like lightning going all crazy like between these guys, which is kind of what I was thinking about doing, as well as like kind of like the tip here, like that is kind of what I was imagining. Okay. So now we're gonna make this wire. Because this is like a pretty circular round thing, I'm increasing my brush's smoothing, just so that way it's gonna look more smooth. That's a dumb way to put it, but yeah, that's what it's gonna do. And here on the bottom, oops, those are the wrong keys. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, that circle didn't draw on at 100% opacity, so I needed to just fix it up real quick. Shrink it down a little bit. Move it up. Basically, we're just throwing all the science nonsense in here. Oh, you know, I can also probably move these spikes here. Do that for the bottom. Yeah, I think this makes more sense, guys. Grabbing these guys, putting them down here. And then we'll put more kind of like symmetrical prongy guys right here. Fix my smoothing. Back down to I keep mine at like 20% typically. So I think that for the dragon horn, we're just going to say that it's made of a dragon horn. And we can kind of fatten this up here, to make it more of like an organic thing, and I think that'll look pretty cool actually. Yeah, why don't we do that real quick? So here, yeah, it's not like a perfect horn. It's a little bit curved and everything. So let's just go ahead and do something like that. Just like, we'll say that it's made like, you know, using a fragment of a blue dragon's horn. And actually, if we're doing that, then I can get rid of those guys because this horn is like not like a perfect symmetrical thing, and it can be a little bit organic looking. We'll just do that. That's not at all what I wanted to do. Oh, it's all the same layer. That's silly. Let's fix that. Just get rid of those guys. We know what we're looking for. Good morning, Jericho. Good to see you, buddy. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna shrink this guy up a little bit. And then we're gonna have this, and we're gonna have like a third prong coming out here kind of like towards us. So that it's gonna be foreshortened. So it's gonna be like about here or something. There we go. Drink my chai. At 8:30 at night. I gotta open my door. It's sweltering in here. I've got a lot of lights in my office, and with my computer and monitors and stuff running, it gets pretty toasty in here if I'm not careful. Alrighty. So this is kind of what we're looking at right now. Here at the bottom, we can probably do something a bit more clever. We can actually just make this a point as well. And actually, yeah, we can say here at the very bottom, like the very tip of it is like one of those blue dragon's fingernails or something. Or like claws. Fingernails. Claws. Okay. Come on. There we go. I just got that reference. Naders. I just got that. Was that an Iron Man 1 quote? I think it was. But here's a really cool. I haven't actually put them in my home game yet, but I really want to. All right. So we're looking pretty good here. Let's go ahead and save this. We're just going to call this Rods of Chained Lightning. Cool. And now we can kind of get to work here. I'm probably going to wind up saving these like roundy bits for last, just because they're going to be a little bit of a pain to get the perspective on them just right. That's cool, Nick. Oh, do they have like a bunch of AoE stuff? As you can tell, I am not as intimately familiar with the monster manual as I am with items from the DMG. Just gonna fill in this guy. Alrighty. Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, so in a hallway, yeah, okay, that would do it then. Alrighty. So here, we're going to label this horn, if I can spell it. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's a fun mechanic then. Okay. You are right prong. Presumably, okay, your front prong. Gonna move you up one, too. And I'm guessing that you're left one then. Yeah. Left prong. Alright. And this guy and your copy right here. Look at that. We're just gonna merge them into one shape. So you can see that this is one layer right here, but that they're two shapes on the same layer. We're just gonna call them like little. I'm just gonna call them clips, even though they're not. You're the wire. Naming stuff is important if you got a bunch of layers, because otherwise you're just gonna be clicking around aimlessly trying to find the thing you're looking for. Call that rod. You're gonna have a bad time. Here we go. You. That's all. Okay. I noticed that they were not quite lined up. Okay, there we go. And hey, get off. Oh, on the wrong tool. There we go. I'll do it. You and you. Gonna combine you. What's your name, buddy? Your name is Unstable Base. Your bottom sphere. Yeah. Yes, freeze. I have like a cap on the top. I was planning on having it like be kind of like touching it, but maybe like drilled into it. So have like kind of cracks in the horn where it's kind of implanted. I think that looked pretty cool. Right, jagged base. What are you? Your front jagged base. Rear jagged base. This is riveting, I know. Watching me name layers. What are you? Okay. Here are all these nonsense. Oh, okay. Okay, so you are all... Okay, you're the coils. You are not needed. Delete that. Alrighty. Okay, so we're looking pretty good here with layers. Tuck that away. Alright, let's go ahead and save. Yeah, exactly, Cerise. Also, hello to all of our 16 viewers. Happy to see you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Whether it be about me or what I'm doing. Oops. Anything. Alrighty. So we'll just start from the top, just because we're already kind of inspired by this idea of a horn. And let's go ahead and we're just gonna grab this image for the sake of a color palette. And I'm gonna go down here and put them in our references folder. Tuck them right there. So based on the sounds that I'm hearing off screen, I think I'm in for some dinner, fellas. Heroes. Hi. Give me a sec, everybody. I'm gonna eat some dinner. I'll be right back in just a few minutes. Thank you so much for your patience, for hanging out. If you guys are chatting here in YouTube, I'll make sure to kind of type things out too in between bites. But I don't want you guys aren't gonna want to watch me eat. That's gross. So, see you in a bit.
Just drift and grow. I'm guessing that it's best to let go. But I know love will never make it back home. Watch us drift and grow. I'm guessing that it's best to let go. But I always miss the best part of us.
All right, everybody. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. Let me change my scene real quick. Here we go. Let's get back to it. All right, so we're working on this horn. We're going to grab this color from the dragon. And I pixel locked this so that I can draw on it like so. And it's not going to go outside the lines. I'm doing that with my, what is that? / key, question mark. Which if you're actually familiar with Photoshop, you'll notice that it doesn't just do that particular kind of locking. It's whatever lock you used on it last. There we go. Making this look a little bit like a spear almost. Just grab some more colors from here. Some of these darkers. We just started watching, I say we, mostly Danny has started watching Good News on Netflix. If any of you guys have started seeing that or have watched it, because I think it's in its second season, or finished its second season, its third season comes out this year. But that's a Tina Fey show. It's quite entertaining. It's interesting. That's looking pretty cool. And we'll come back through here. We'll make sure that these all have like a really solid darks and lights and stuff towards the end. But for right now, we can always kind of enhance these darks and lights. All right. He says as he continues to fiddle with it. Okay. And like I said, we're gonna move this above the horn like that. Make this, it's kind of implanted within it like that. Put the horn on. We're gonna make a clipping or like a layer mask on top of the horn here. Put these cracks in there. Like so. Yeah, all right. That's similar. Like sometimes I will let things wait if I can't make a good decision on it right now. Like if it needs to wait on like something else to happen. Okay, there we go. And now we're gonna make another layer on top of it. We're gonna make this overlay and we're gonna hit it with some white. All that's what's gonna do is give us like, it's gonna make it look like it has some depth to it. Like that. There we go. I was telling Discord recently that I just watched Into the Spider-Verse 2. And it's so good. It's so good. Like I didn't really get why Spider-Man was so many people's favorite superhero for the longest time. And like between that and Homecoming, and I still have yet to see Far From Home. I promise I'm going to. My schedule is a little bit hard to nail down, obviously. But I really want to see it because I'm so into I'm so into this. Like I'm invested. Spidey's a good dude. Or person, really. I mean, you saw in Spider-Verse. Okay, so for the rest of the rod, I think we're going to make it a little bit more mechanical. So we're going to keep it silver. Oh, I still need to see Love, Death, and Robots. I know I've heard only glowing reviews about that show. So I'm filling this with 50% white, which just makes it 50% gray. And I do that because 50% gray is a great starting point for a metal like this. So I'm just gonna go ahead. We're gonna give it a inner shadow or an inner glow. Yeah, we'll go for an inner shadow first. Dark, go. Like that. And depending where the lighting is coming from, we can add some more stuff to it. So we'll take a look at that in a second. So like that. And then let's give an inner glow right here. That's not the right color at all. Put it right there. Really nice and narrow, just kind of right in the center. Yeah, all right. I feel the same way, and I think I still kind of do. Well, because that was like, wasn't that in like the first Spider-Man movies? He just kind of like shot him out of his wrist. Wasn't that how that worked? Also, like I really loved how they they kind of made fun of that one classic scene where he's like dancing and stuff. I thought that was really good of them. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to redo all those. Oof. Okay. You need to go behind the rod. There you go. And these are gonna be. They're gonna be this. No, these are gonna be like maybe like a copper, like a gold. So we'll grab this color, like this. Then we'll put our brush over here onto overlay, so I can start kind of like getting in some lights and darks. Alright, yeah, I get that. I just ordered. Instagram has me down to an algorithm, which is fine. Like it introduces me to products that I'm genuinely excited about owning, right? So I get it. It's still weird, and it's still creepy, right? But I'm happy to overlook that because of how convenient and cool it is. When I get stuff that I'm excited about. So I just ordered a Lark, LARQ, which is a water bottle. Because I really enjoy like kind of self-filtering water bottles. And this one is also self-cleaning. It uses UV light in it, which is pretty cool. And it's beautifully designed. Like it's a handsome thing. I'll enjoy carrying it around. Yeah, which is a silly thing to like really care about, but I don't know. It looks really nice. And then I also got, I finally bit the bullet, and I got a Quip toothbrush. I'm really excited for that to come in the mail too. I did not get the toothpaste that they kind of push with it, because I like to get my own toothpaste, you know, and I try to get like the non-fluoride stuff, just for my teethies, you know. Oh yeah, I have a Kickstarter thing that I'm waiting for. So I do not own a cat. Preface: I do not own a cat, but I would like to own a cat, and I'm hoping to someday. And so I yeah, targets like that too. Yeah. Yeah, so on Kickstarter there was this really exciting, again, also from Instagram. I'm such a sucker. But yeah, from Instagram I learned about this Kickstarter call for an iCuddle, which is like a self-cleaning smart litter box thing. It's also beautifully designed. I also bought my air filter from an Instagram ad. Like they have me locked down. I think I have probably some of the highest conversions on Instagram. Like well more than any other platform by far. So I'm distorting this back rod just to kind of push it farther back into space. There we go. But yeah, Instagram ads like get me consistently. But anyway, I'm excited about those two things. About my Quip and my Lark. I'm admittedly a little bit nervous about how things are going to go at Gen Con. Because I know there's going to be fun stuff there. So we'll see how that goes. Man, I really hope to run into some of you guys there. I know, I don't know. I haven't really heard a whole lot of, hey, I'll be at Gen Cons, so I'm not really holding my breath, but it'd be nice. It'd be fun. Scroll versions of classic works? That's pretty cool. I'm realizing that I'm probably gonna need to do the same thing with these little thorn things that I am with these little clippy guys. So let's just go ahead and make another one. And we can just draw this in. That's fine. Maybe? Oh, wait. Oh, because it's, okay. I made it, but it's behind the rod. Derp. There we go. Like that. Yeah, I believe that daycare is so expensive, and like, I mean, like, bless those people for looking at your kids. Like, that is not an easy thing to do, or, you know, it's important. But I feel as though there should be some kind of subsidy for that, you know, or like, is it tax deductible? I feel as though it should be. So just kind of putting in the shadow for this guy that we just drew in here. Also, I'm not sure what you meant by con money, naders, but I'm assuming that it's a goof. If not, I'm curious about the line of work that you're in. What? Oh. Oh, all of your okay. That makes more sense then. Wow, that's so many dollars a month for daycare. My gosh. Grad school makes sense. Over $1,200 for a kid for a month. That's so many dollars. So I'm gonna do something kind of similar here for the wire that I did with the rod. Actually, to tell you the truth, probably from the start, we're actually gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna fill it with a 50% white, so we essentially have a 50% gray. We're gonna go back here to the rod. We're gonna copy the layer style. Here we go, and we're just gonna apply it to the rod here. Paste. Here we go. Also, am I crazy? Where's Flux at? No, I told Flux to go off. Okay, it's not there. Oh, it's my glasses. Never mind. It's a lot of money for it, yeah. Okay, so here's the part where we get to, I'm going to show you another trick here. I think I've showed you this before. Actually, I've definitely showed you this before. But with masking stuff, if I were to mask or even erase, essentially, here, you can see that it starts kind of putting shadows and stuff on either side of it, which is not what we want, because we just want this to go behind the rod. So instead, we're going to be putting this mask on a group that we made just to hold this one layer. And that way, it doesn't do that funny nonsense putting the shadows in. Okay. And then we'll put all these guys, and I'll worry about like masking that out and stuff later once we have those kind of coil things figured out. So I'm gonna put a shadow on this. Yeah, so these glasses aren't prescription. These are just blue light filtering glasses. Because my eyes are delicate wee bebs, and I want to make sure they're taken care of, because I would be in trouble if I didn't have them. So my eyes are already like quick to degrade, you know. I have to work pretty hard. Like my entire office setup is around like protecting my eyes. It's a silly thing. My eyes are very like oblong. They're rugby balls. Oh, hello, Pepper. Oh yeah, Adam, me too. Ugh, yeah, like I'm worried that's gonna be me someday too. I've already had one eye surgery, and I'm essentially like using all this time that I spend in front of a computer as like eye exercise, by doing what I am. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're gonna start fixing up some of these shapes here. Is there a way to split these up? I'm just gonna get rid of this guy over here on the right. And for the sake of this, I'm just gonna put these at 50%, so we can kind of ignore them. Those coil guys. There we go. Okay. So now we've got this. We can make you extend to the middle like that. And we're just gonna push you down. So it's like this entire thing will be one piece of equipment. Okay, now we'll do that. Flip this. Yada. Oh, yeah. No, same thing. I rate them. So what you can consider doing is, so I had something called a Vizian. A Vizian is where they essentially just they implant a contact lens in your eye. And my prescription was like a minus 14.25 in either eye. Like I was legally blind. It was bad. But I went to like a 30-20 or something like that, or like a 20-30, whatever the thing is, after a Vizian. But I wasn't doing what I'm doing now and like taking care of my eyes and like exercising them. So, and they won't, my surgeons, rightfully so, won't give me any like additional eye correction stuff, any touch up LASIK stuff until my eyes stop, messing around. So I'm doing what I can to stop them. Okay. Gonna go ahead here. What am I doing here? Where's the rod? Here's the rod. Are you? Yeah, you're the shadow. Okay, great. Gonna put a shadow in here from the horn. So I guess the question is like, how are we getting the horn to be like stuck on the thing? And I guess the answer to that is we need to put cracks in it to kind of show that the rod is like just jammed into it. Because as you can tell, like they don't really care how it's implanted. This is some like Frankensteinian stuff. Frankenstein. That's what that is. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so yeah, if you're so if you're at minus 8.7, like imagine a 14.25. It's a lot. It was a lot. Oh, and Sovereign Glue. Got it. You typed it right. I misread it as Sovereign Blue, and I was like, what? I like the idea. I like the idea of just kind of like jamming this thing in there. I think it's exactly the kind of thing that whoever would make this thing would do. Oh, okay. So with a minus, what's going on here? With a minus 14.25, you see clearly it may be like a centimeter away from your eye, just for reference. Like, and I'm honestly not exaggerating. A centimeter. But I will say that since I've been since I've had like my monitor as a TV on a wall, uh, my eyes have been able to focus better, and my eyesight's been getting better. Oh my gosh, I would have died for sure. Like I would have fallen off a ledge, or I would have been taken out to some pasture, you know, by my pa at the age of 8 or something, and told to look at the flowers. It's looking almost like it's looking a little bit too feathery, so just gonna leave it like that. Actually, how'd that look? If it were just jammed on, it would all just be going from there. Okay, so this kind of splintering effect that we have here isn't what would happen. It would be more like it's you, right? What layer are you on? None of them. It says right there. Okay. Apparently, never mind. Yeah, I get that. I love watching videos of people getting like color corrective lenses so they can like see colors despite being colorblind. It's like one of my favorite kinds of videos to watch. Like that just like fills me with uh, joy. Alrighty. Okay, so we're looking pretty good here for the rod. Let's go ahead and work on this guy. This stuff down here. Is this all one? Okay, it is all one layer. So same thing here. Gonna fill it with white. Just so we have a 50% gray to work with. Well, it's like it's so hard to imagine people not seeing things that you do. Like, can you imagine not seeing like the color red, or like just seeing all grass is brown? Like color and things that we take for granted as everyday things are so integral to us and our experience with the world that like that seeing somebody be able to experience that for the first time is has to be overwhelming, especially somebody who you care about. Okay, so given the perspective that we're looking at here, that's going to curve down like about like that. Kind of putting some nicks in this. Just kind of show some wear. Although I'll also put in I'll put in some kind of like conduits, I suppose, or like I'll leave that for later. But I think that like some kind of design element or like showing plates would be good for this. There we go. It's true, getting shut into the ground will make some wear and tear. That's totally right. Showing use. Oh, I should put some scorch marks on it too. Remind me to do that. Because I'm not gonna do it right now. Just because we're still kind of working on it, you know. Kind of, because we're still working on it, not kind of working on it. But yeah, they should definitely have some kind of like electrical scorch marks in it. Just gonna blur these a little bit or smudge them just a little bit, like that. Oops. That's right. Yeah, put one of these out there, like when it's mosquito season. Heck, I would love that. So some people just like attract insects like that, and I'm one of them. Bugs devour me. Yeah, I am the best insect repellent for everyone else. And there was like a study recently about it, and it has to do with like your the kind of bacteria that live on your skin, which is like a good thing. You know, we all do it. You know, we all have it, and it's important. It's just part of our natural biome. And it's like, for some reason, I don't have enough, like enough like a variety on my skin, which just makes me apparently more attractive to mosquitoes. Oh joy. I don't have like a really addictive personality or anything. I have like, I think I would say uncommonly good willpower. But sugar is probably like a thing that I have battled with, like, very carefully avoiding outright addiction, probably. Okay, so from what we can tell here, the light's gonna be coming kind of from above. Um, all that said, it doesn't matter that much because we're gonna be creating a whole bunch of ambient lighting in here, with these like bits of lightning kind of popping off, and kind of sparking around and everything. So it's gonna be easier for us to essentially treat it as if there's one light source now, and then add the lighting in later for everything else that we add. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. Like, I'll be hanging out on on a hammock with Danny or something like that, and I will like I'll go back inside and be covered in bug bites, and meanwhile like she's like unscathed. Okay. Because this isn't a very interesting color, just being silver like this, I'm gonna make the rod actually the same kind of copper color, and then I'll make the base. I'll keep the base the same color that it is. Insect repellent. I could see some like use cases for it, but depending on the rarity too. Like, it could just be insect repellent, but it could also be like, uh, insect creatures have disadvantage on like attacks against you or something like that if they're within 5 feet. Or like are afraid of you or something. Okay. Let's go back actually in there. Let's fix that shadow. There we go. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna make another layer here above these rods, just to kind of show them kind of integrating a little bit more with the rest of this, like so. Because I don't want it to be kind of just like jammed in. I kind of want it to be part of the rod, like this. There we go. Okay. And here I'm actually gonna. What are you? You're that. Okay. Just gonna go back through here and grab that color. That's too dark. Is that right? That's too bright. Okay, in between. 50% on that brush. There we go. Just a little more colorful, and the stuff in here doesn't matter too much yet. So that looks about right. Let's go ahead and save this. And then here in the bottom of the horn, make a color layer, and we're gonna take some of this kind of copper color and move it up. There we go, onto the bottom of the horn like that, because it's reflecting light back upwards. Oh yeah, Sturgis for sure. Yeah, no thanks. Hard pass. Actually, okay, so this needs to be, I'm gonna put a mask on this. Right here. Because based on the perspective that we're gonna be starting to see this kind of bottom base bit, we're going to be looking at it from the top, which means that the top of it's going to be like, it's going to look rounded like that. Like that. There we go. Oh man, guys, I'm not looking forward to making these coils. I got to figure out how I'm going to do them. Because it should be done, you know. I want to make sure they're done right. But when you're doing something like that, where it's like a series of things like that, you know, where perspective is involved, if it's wrong, it's like very noticeably wrong. Hard to kind of fudge that. There we go. All right. Now, should the wire be a different color? Should the wire be gold, maybe? It's obviously like a very garish gold color, but that might be the move. Just kind of give it some more color in there. Yeah, gold. Cool. Wait, I have a whole layer. Oh, I'm on that layer. No, I'm not on that layer. This one. Here we go. My shadow layer for the wire. Okay. And actually, you know what? Should they? think that this might be the wrong mask for this. Show it right in there. And then just kind of loosely draw this in here. Yeah, that's the move. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it like that for right now. This second. Because it's going to depend on what we do with these coily bits. Ooh, that's a good call. Sure, yeah, that'll add some nice texture. I can also give this. I mean, I need to give it texture, and I can do that real quick just because it's not going to be complicated. Here, so if you've never seen this before, this is one way to do it. I'm going to put my brush mode onto dissolve and my layer mode onto overlay. And dissolve essentially makes these kind of like weird pixely effects. Like that. And that doesn't look good, right? But what we can do is we can tell it to blur itself. And if we give it a motion blur of straight up and down, it looks brushed. Which is something that we want. Within reason. There we go. But we can also add in another layer here. I like to use dissolve or divide rather for this. Kind of put in some more effects like that. Now all this stuff is going to be covered up, so we don't have to worry about it too much. And I'm putting more here because it's going to be getting reflected from that guy. And yeah, that's fine. Okay. All right. And we can do the same thing for like this guy too. We'll just, oops, put a quick texture on him. Just kind of help them keep in the same color, area, color zone. There we go. Same thing here, like that, and on this guy. Nailed it. I love nailing that. Or just like when I'm scrolling down through the layer modes, through the blend modes, and I just get it the first try. It's like flipping a bottle upside, right side up or something. If that's still a thing that people do to feel accomplished. Alrighty. So here we go. Here's a shadow from the bottom here. And we'll do the same thing here. We'll put a texture on this and all this stuff. Oh yeah, for sure. Like, and you'll forget it all, and all these like various little tips and tricks. You learn it just through messing around for long enough. And like if you have to solve the same problem multiple times, it gets easier. And that is just a problem that I, have to solve very regularly. Okay. Putting this kind of yellow shadow from the reflected light shadow from the wire above it, like that. Curling around the side. All right. Okay. All right, let's do it. Let's figure out what we're doing with these guys. Hopefully it's not gonna. I don't know. I think it'll be okay. I think I'm probably over exaggerating. How this is gonna go. thinking about the right way to do this. Okay. I think the right thing to do, I have to remake it just fine. I'm just gonna remake it in like outside of this. Here, make a new layer. I'm gonna make it as if we already have a bit of like a perspective on it. So like this, we'll say, and we'll say that's the top of it. It's a little bit large. We'll shrink it down. Oh, well then, alright, we should try. We should, you know, just, God, I always hated hearing this, but it's persistence and it's practice. And it's not so much like, it's not so much like practice and you'll suddenly know what to do because it's art. It's practice because eventually your eyes know what's wrong. And once your eyes know what's wrong, you can act on it and fix the things. I think that's probably been the biggest thing for me. Like, and your brain also gets better at like at working in three-dimensional space. Because even though this is 2D here, like in my brain I'm thinking about it in terms of 3D. Yeah. Oh, it is Cry for Cartoons O'Clock. I have not watched Steven Universe. No, I haven't. But I have heard that it's good. Okay, so we're gonna do half of this at a time essentially again, and we'll just flip it. So half here, here. Here like this. Boom. There we go. Okay, so now we have the shape of no, don't. There we go. So now I have the shape of, like the silhouette, I should say, of this critter. As you can see, I did not properly guess exactly how much a half was. Just filled it in, no problem. There we go. We're gonna save because we haven't done that in a while. Oh, is that how it happened, Jericho? Yeah, alright, you should have to borrow it. Hey, for you guys in the chat, thank you for hanging out. I'm saying that I got 12 viewers, and I appreciate you guys for being here. It's always nice. It's always nice having you guys. I look forward to it every week. Okay, so we're just gonna combine these all into one layer. What is this? This is it? Okay. No? What's happening here? What? I definitely just grumpy. Okay. You. Okay. This is why you name your layers, folks. Now, I did happen to see that the thing I made to kind of cover up the middle, yeah, was up top here. Okay, so now we can combine these. Okay, so now we have one of these little discs. And yeah, if you guys are just in the chat, or if you guys are lurking, roll your face on the keyboard. Let us know you're alive. I promise I won't ask you any follow-up questions, but it's nice to see that folks are around. And yeah, let's. I like the idea of these being silver, so we'll keep it at a 50% gray. And go like this. Hey, Seth. All right, cool. Well, thank you all of our lurkers, all my lurkers, I suppose. It's really nice. It's really nice, kind of hanging out, and I even if we're not talking directly, it's nice knowing that people like to show up every week. Or that people can see that I am in fact a human being. As far as I can tell. Oh yeah, Saddlebot. Yeah. Am I a sports fan? Bradley. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I promise I won't. Am I a sports fan? I like selected sports, and when I say like I like them, I don't like keep track of them or follow them, but I enjoy watching them. So I really enjoy watching tennis, and I can also enjoy watching soccer or football. If you're everywhere else in the world other than the States. But I love tennis. I love tennis. And like honestly, if like badminton or something were televised, I'd probably watch that too. I like net sports a lot. So I like volleyball, tennis, and badminton. Those are probably my favorite sports. Is there anything else that I really get into? I can enjoy watching baseball if I'm like actually there, in the stadium. That's fun. Ice hockey's whatever. I have a hard time keeping track of the puck. And it's so cold in there. Art-oriented Android. What's pickleball, Seth? And I'm glad you're liking it, Bradley. Pickleball. I feel as I've heard of this. You're gonna say it, and I'm gonna remember it. Oh, I will say that it's also fun to watch if you haven't seen it, like professional tag, or like at the X Games. I want to say they have it. Like tag is wild. Like that's like that is aggressive PvP parkour, and it's craziness. Really? All right, you want to do something interesting here? We'll see if this works. Hey, Cortana. Hey. What's pickleball?
Pickleball is a noun meaning a game resembling tennis in which players use paddles to hit a perforated plastic ball over a net.
How about that? That's exactly what you said it was. All right, good to know. Tennis for old folks. I thought that's what badminton was because the shuttlecock moves more slowly. Oh, you can like really nail that sucker, which is a lot of fun too. And also, yes, if you guys don't use Cortana, she is useful. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm going to make this into a smart object in a second, and you're gonna see why. Smart objects are super handy. Okay, so let's make this into a smart object. First section, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mask that. Here we go. And the reason for that is that because that top layer is masked now, I got a nice bounding box on this critter. There we go. So let's go ahead and hide. That's not it. Let's rename you wire. There we go. Place this here. And actually, I'm realizing we should do this from the bottom. That. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. So up towards the top here, this perspective is a little bit off. We're looking at it too far from up top. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to shrink it a little bit. I'm just going to shrink it vertically like that, and that's going to scrunch all of the well, actually, I'll show you what I'm going to do in a second. But that scrunches like all the various cylinders or all the various like round bits down, which makes it look as though it's, you know, more flat to us. Oh, that's cool, Aratum. Or Aratum. I like that. Shoot, that's cool. Yeah, Seth. So there were some delays in the printing process for it because I took a while to like really make sure that things were balanced and like well written. Because, you know, when I made the first 100 items, I wasn't as good of a 5e writer as I am now, right? So things needed to get updated, and because of that, it got delayed, which sucks, you know. But it was super necessary. So right now, yeah, they're gonna be getting shipped in, I want to say early September is current estimation. But I will say that the biggest thing is that we need to sell a certain number of them in order to guarantee that future decks get released. So if you haven't already ordered a deck, not only would you be getting some really sick cards in the mail, you'll be helping make sure that the other hundreds of cards get made too. Yeah, and yeah, like I want to make sure that things are as close to official as possible. You know, that's always been the goal. Like I want you as players or you as dungeon masters to feel as though this is like official content adjacent. So it's not a difficult ask for you to say, hey, dungeon master, can we use this in our game? I want it to be as easy as possible for these things to get used, because like, what good is an item if it doesn't get used? Like, what good is anything if it doesn't get used? So I'm just trying to make sure that I give that opportunity to people, and putting in the effort to make sure that I am, you know, doing as good a job as possible. Okay, so we're gonna save here. But I will say that decks 3 and 4 are already designed and ready, and like they're good to go. And they have really cool box art. I'm very proud of them. So I'm excited for that to eventually happen, hopefully. And the writing is consistently better in those. I mean, like from the get, like it is of the same caliber as the first two decks. Just because I've learned so much since then, you know. Oh, that's good. I read him. Yeah. So the book is still happening, Bradley. Yeah. So it depends. It depends on how things go with the deck of many. They are a little hesitant about you know, printing more of the cards because we haven't sold enough of them yet to get a return on the original investment on the printing. Now that said, like they're still in pre-orders, and pre-orders, you know, don't sell as many, right? So we'll see how it goes once they actually release. We need to sell about 300 packs per volume, and we've sold about 200 total between packs 1 and 2. So we need to sell another 400. And so we'll see how that goes once they release. And they're going to be doing some sponsorship stuff on them too. So I think it'll be okay. But until then, like my original intention, or at least hope, was that was that they would run the Kickstarter campaign for it, and I would just like make the book and send them the PDF and be done with it. But depending on how things go, I might be the one that does it. In which case, I'll be reaching out to some other people who have run Kickstarters and see how that goes. But the intention is still that yes, there will be a Kickstarter or at least release in some capacity. Kickstarter is nice because it builds hype. You know, people are excited about it. But yeah, the intention is always going to be to make a book, and then same thing for year 2, I guess. And I'm sure that I'll mess up, and I'm sure that I'll learn a lot in the process, and I'm sure that I'll bite off more than I can chew again. Yeah. So the card packs do come with it comes with a with like a thank you card. Actually, you know what? Sure, I'll show you. I'll show you the thank you card. Here's the box. Tell you what. Yeah. That's volume 3 bond. I can read. Give me a second. So this is going to be the first card that you see in volume 2, we'll say. I have no idea where it's going to dump me in this file. It has to load up InDesign actually. Hey, all right, Jericho. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. Always good to see you in here. Oh, thanks, Bradley. I appreciate that. Cool, man. Glad to hear that, Adam. Yeah, I'm having fun with those. And for people who haven't seen those yet, I'm making a series of items ahead of time for when I'm at Gen Con, so I can actually still post things every day. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you can see where I was looking last when I saved. Here we go. Okay. So this is we're gonna see when you open up view. Where am I at? What? Just wait for it. Here we go. Okay. So it's got the cover on there of the box, and it has like a little blurb here. Now it doesn't have, oh my gosh, it doesn't have my website on there. It has my website on the box. What an oversight. But yeah, so on the box it does have my website. And I can load that up too. Oh yeah, me too. I really like coatls. Anyway, yeah. So this is the box. So you can see here. It's got my website on there. Has like all my other various social stuff. But yeah, so the first thing that you're gonna see is like a thank you card, like saying, kind of introducing who I am, so people who don't know me can see it. That was a long walk for a short drink of water, but it's like a tease, I suppose. Yeah, Pepper, I don't know what she's mad about. So we can totally have like electricity kind of like sparking from one of these to the next, which I think would look pretty cool. So up at the very top here. Oh, so I mentioned earlier that I was gonna make these into smart objects, specifically, so that because they're all the same, I could edit one of them and it would update on the rest of them, which is like obviously awesome. Although really what I need to do actually is edit the bottom here. So it's all dark right there. And a little bit right there. Take that back. Okay. Close that. These will update, which makes it very nice and easy for me. Make sure that they are all overlapping okay. They look okay. Alrighty. So with here this top one, we're just gonna mask the top bit a little bit. So that way the actual rod is going into it, or is like kind of intersecting with those points. So you can see this is looking pretty cool. Like this is looking pretty high tech. And I'm sure that somebody's gonna say this looks more like a weird spear because of the horn up top. But whatever, they're wrong. I don't mean that. People are right all the time. I mean, like it's why things get posted to Reddit and everything first, or get feedback. You know, there's a process before it gets to Patreon or anywhere else. Okay, that's what's happening there. Okay, so you can see here I'm painting with black, but we're still getting the same kind of layer effects from the rod because it's clipped, or it's like a layer mask on top of a layer with that effect. So you'll notice here actually if I unmask it from that layer, it doesn't care about those like effects on there. Just fine. So we'll just be a little bit careful here. Like that. There we go. Alrighty. At some point, I'm gonna have to fix the color of the copper because it's not right. All right, but because we have these things ready, we can put the we can put the wire back in. What we should do for this actually, we should grab all these, put them in a group. We'll call these coils. And, oh, actually the coils, I don't have to mask anything. Look at that. Yeah, I don't have to mask anything. Because I just put the coils on top, which makes sense. They should do that anyway. That's great. That works out. Great, all right, that simplifies things. But now I can go back and add in these shadows. Back here. It's kind of traveling away from us. So I'm thinking that when we make like the copy of these, and actually, you know what we should do? I don't think that we should have these crossing. I think that we should just kind of put like 1, 2, 3, and have like the lightning arcing between them. And then at that point, we can actually just adjust some of the we can just repaint the wire real quick, and like adjust some of the texture on the horn and be fine. When you make an item a day, you have to think about ways to be efficient about it. It's 10 o'clock already? Ugh. Well, thanks for hanging out, you guys. Trying to wrap this up so I don't keep you guys here forever. And as always, I'll be making I'll be like writing up the mechanics for this tomorrow. But I think that we've kind of like talked about it a fair bit. Do you have an idea of like how rare do you think these should be? Do you think these should be uncommon, rare, or very rare? I think that because there are going to be multiple of them, I think it's going to make sense for them to be uncommon, so you can get them more regularly. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think. If they're uncommon, they're probably gonna have some similar effects as like a shock and grasp cantrip, and like things with metal are gonna have a hard time going through it. Oh, but the dragon bits. Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. I mean, unless we want to make it a Behir horn, or just get rid of the. No, we shouldn't get rid of the horn because otherwise it's just going to be a sci-fi thing in a fantasy setting, and that's just bad. Yeah, more oomph. Yeah, it's true. More damage equals more rare. That is. I think Einstein said that. Yeah, movement impairment. Okay. Sure. Okay, so yeah, so maybe we're talking about a rare item then. I do think that if we made these very rare, people would never find more than like 2 of them. And that's not as much fun. So I think that rare is probably a good in between, especially if it's just a fragment. I mean, like, do we want to pull up a picture of a Behir actually? Because what's their CR? Yeah, it's still pretty high. Oh, these guys are so wild looking. Oh my gosh, look at those little cute horns. Actually, are Behir SRD? I can't remember. I'd honestly be surprised. Oh no, they are. They're basic rules. Look at that. I mean, we could say that they're like a Behir bone fragments, but even so, at a CR 11, that's still going to be rare. So for this tube, we want this to be thinner for sure. So let's actually go ahead. We're just gonna do this. We're just gonna do one of these. And you can see here that even though I'm making it like thinner, I'm just squeezing it this way, right? But it also like changes the perspective that it's coming around. So instead of like being more kind of like around horizontally, it's more like vertically, which I think is nice, you know. And it didn't make me have to change anything, so problem solved. No longer like a fluid tube. It is definitely more so a wire now. Although it is clipping in here, so we'll just fix that real quick. All right. So this is looking pretty good. This is pretty metal. Let's take another look at this copper thing. The more I'm looking at it, nope. I think this needs to go back to being silver, which is okay. I think that's not a big ask. All that we need to do is we're just gonna kind of undo what we did before, but we're just gonna give it a color layer instead, like that. And same thing with these guys over here. I'm gonna put these two. Are you the? What layer are you? What do you do? What are you? Okay, you're nothing relevant. Are you these things? Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna put all these in a group here. I'll call them front pointy bits. We're gonna make a layer mask on top of them like that, just so that whatever we're doing here only affects that layer. And we're just gonna apply a black color to them. And since it's on a color layer, what that means is that's not what I want you to do. Because black doesn't have any value or any hue to it, rather. It makes it black and white. We can so for what we did here, it made a lot of sense for us to just kind of go for the simpler route, rate them. But since we are going to be making like another couple of these like real easy, or like another few of them, kind of off to the side, we can absolutely make one more a bit more crazy straw of wiring. There we go. That looks better, and that kind of draws, gives more attention to the horn up top, which is important, for flavor. Oops. Have you seen the Ultimate Pokemon Rap? I think is what it was called. Ratum. It was I think it was at an event. It was at some kind of con, and it was by, I think he works for, I want to say Polygon. Anyway, he's brilliant. I can't remember. He doesn't even have a name. It's an acronym. Whatever people call him, like an acronym. I know. I would love to have Kappas in here. It hurts my heart. But like until Twitch has private streams, like YouTube it is. Just kind of adding in what was it saying? I'm sorry, guys. I got distracted. All right, so I'm kind of making this kind of like the pointy bit at the bottom here. There we go. Oh, and we'll put some dirt and grime on this too, just kind of show that it's been shoved and unshoved from services. Oh, and we'll do this. Okay, yeah. I like him. Yeah, I can start talking about him and people normally know his name because I always forget it. Yeah, I want my Pogs. I want my Bible Thumps. I want my Kappas. I want my Kappas so bad. Sadness. Okay. Alrighty, last little bit here. We're looking pretty good. Last little bit here. Do we actually need this circle? Is that a thing that we need? No, we do not need that circle. I'm glad you like the Saddlebot, or at least his name, or unless you're chastising him, in which case that's funny too. So we don't have to be like super delicate with these because they're not the focus of attention. But actually, especially now that these are like at the bottom, having these have like some kind of bend in them makes sense, like just mechanically. Yeah, still going, Nick. We're finishing up the first one right now, and then we'll be able to replicate the bits that we've used in this first one to the others. So the others will go like super fast. And then we still have to like make the effects and stuff for lightning. But I'll show you how that works. Lightning is a lot of fun to make, and it's not terribly complicated. If you were here for when I was doing the Dragonkin stuff. Back in, gosh, was that June? You know what you're in for. Oh, Gnome Inventor is good. I'll take that. Could probably work that into the flavor text. So far, the only ref or like assured gnome from Saddlebag lore is Freffel. It'd be very funny if Freffel also was like a scientist in this, right? Which I'm honestly half tempted to. I really want to like I want to kind of expand on Freffel at some point in the future. Oh, it's actually not. It's using blending modes for lightning mostly. Blending modes and some layer effects, like some inner glows and inner shadows and stuff. You'll see. I'm about to get to it in a minute. Okay. So we're looking pretty fresh here. We have a rod. There we go. Boom. And like I mentioned, let's move these reference down to the bottom. Okay, so we're just gonna put all of these in a group like that. Save it. And I'm thinking that we just kind of do one of these guys. And actually, no, before I do that. See you? What are you? Yeah. No? All right, hang on. If you don't already know how to use the search feature in Photoshop, it gets you out of a pinch like this, because I am trying to find what layer in here is locked, because right now I can't actually flip this group because the layer is locked. So the way to do that is up here in this kind of like often ignored panel up here on the top of your layers. You go to, oh man, text is so far away and my eyes are tired. Oh, I'm sorry, I just touched the microphone. I apologize, guys. I can't read. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to do this. Yep. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna pull the panel out here. Bring it over my other monitor. Where am I? Which one is it? Kind mode. Yes. Okay, here we go. Drop this back in. Okay. So here, under you go to attribute, and then you can change your attribute to locked, which is this guy. Yeah. And you're lying to me. Attributes. Crap. Where are you? Oh, it's linked. I clicked on linked. You guys are all laughing at me. Oh, locked is the second one. There we go. Problem solved. There you go. So now once we did that, we know all these layers. It just filters out all your layers. So we can see here, okay, that one's pixel locked, which is fine. Pixel locking is fine. We're looking for this guy in particular. There we go. We can just kind of toggle that off because now we can flip it. Great. Again, sorry for bumping the microphone, guys. That's my bad. Okay. And so once we finish kind of adjusting these two on the sides, you know, redrawing like the wire for them and like shuffling around some of the little like pointy bits or foot or feet on it, we'll probably kind of splay them a little bit so it's not just like a flat line. They're like maybe a little bit off to the side like that, and then we'll put in the lightning. I'm just gonna hide that one. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna remake. Yeah, we're gonna remake this wire. And this wire has, what does it have on it? Okay, it has that color and the shadow layer. Okay, that's it. Not too much to worry about. So we're just gonna make a new layer, and we're gonna put this existing wire layer on like 50% just to kind of get an idea of where it was. Gonna grab that same color from before, and gonna switch our brush mode or our brush to about the same thickness. There we go. We're gonna turn off any kind of pressure sensitivity for opacity or the like. We're also gonna have to kind of like fiddle with some of the cracks up here too. We're just gonna go. Oh, I need to up my smoothing. Feels though my brush is just a wee bit narrow. There we go, that's better. So this might take a couple times just to kind of like get the effects right on it. I like that. I like this kind of coming out there like that. Like that. Here we go. Okay, so that one's done. And all we need to do is we need to take this layer effect onto it. We need to adjust it a little bit because right now this is set to overlay. We want this set on normal. Is that true? Switch back on overlay. So with it, the way that it was working before. Okay, you know what? No. I'm gonna fill this instead with a 50% gray, roughly, like that. There we go. Like so. Here we go. And then we're going to make a lip layer on top of it. I just had it set to normal. But what this is going to let me do is when I drew it on the first one, I had my brush head on overlay, which is useful for this. And yes, we're going to do this. That. Because now I can start making some of these, you know, brighter spots and darker spots. Okay, so from here, we can also add some darkness to it. Still using the overlay brush, and now we can apply a shadow layer to it. Like that. Cool. And same here, where it's kind of connecting into the horn. So we can go to this guy. He's not needed anymore. And we can figure out, oh, that's a reminder that I need to add in scorch marks, actually. There we go. Cool. Let's grab the cracks layer, which I think are right here somewhere. Where are you guys? There are so, I need to collapse in these layers or merge them. Okay. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, that layer structure, no kidding. Like I've got a lot of them named, at least like some of the main ones, but a lot of the ones that are just up top are ugly. Not proud of those. Here we go. I think it's you too? Yeah, great. So for the sake of this, because it's in a different location, we can actually just kind of take these two layers. We're just gonna merge them, and then we're just gonna warp them a little bit. So they look different enough at a cursory glance, which is really all that it takes. Something like that. And we can trim this up a little bit, or clean it up a little, rather. Oh, no, I was, I don't think that would work, Naders. Yeah, I don't know if that would work. Because I think it's going to be a lot of fun just to build on it. I don't know. I'll think about that. That might be an option. Yeah, I think it'd be fun if you just happen to find one in like some gnome's lair or like some mad gnome's workshop, with like and maybe the DM gives you or like it shows that there are like records of the gnomes selling these to the to the big bad, and then as you try to take down the big bad, you find more of these in this kind of whatever your big bad's doing. So I'm just gonna go ahead. I need to merge some of these layers because this is out of hand. Maybe not. I'm just gonna deal with it. I'm just gonna ignore my problem and just and just keep going. Yeah, like Legos, exactly. And they'd be like really easy for your dungeon master to be like, oh yeah, and you find another one of these things, without potentially unbalancing the game or something like that, or giving you something that's too strong because they already know exactly what you can do with them. It's giving you another way to play with the tool that you already have. Maybe. I think it would be more so a matter of like how far away they are. So if you had like two that are 40 feet apart, it would do like maybe half damage. But if you have two that are 20 feet apart, it would do full damage. That kind of thing. That might make more sense and be easier to keep track of. All right, now for these guys, we don't have to worry about it. We don't have to worry about them too much because for the same thing that we were doing with the coils up top, we can just transform them and squeeze them to change their essential perspective. Pretty simple. And actually, since we squeezed that one over there, we need to actually widen this guy here. And we'll mask out some of them too. Oops. Cool. All right, so that's roughly a second one. We actually need to fix these guys, come to think of it. That's that. Okay. Which one are you? They are labeled. Go. Just kind of, again, doing the same thing here, kind of pushing that one more towards us by squeezing it like that. And same thing over here. We're going to be actually doing the same thing. That. Just moving it over that way. And let's also go ahead and distort this a little bit. Just gonna move it down. So it's like not as obviously the same one on the other one. Like that. Damage dice on these? We don't know right now. Like that's probably the kind of thing I'm going to figure out tomorrow. But given the fact that these are planning or like are projected to be rare, either D8s or D6s. Just because I actually. I think that the okay, well, lightning bolt and javelin of lightning I think both use D8s, and I think that shocking grasp does too. And I think just because all of those use D8s, we should do the same thing here. So probably number of D8s, and we'll say 3D8. You cross them. You take 3d8 on a failed dex save, or half as much on a success. And if you fail, your movement speed is halved. And maybe you can't use your reactions until the start of your next turn or something like that. But I mean, that sounds like a fair bit. But I mean, you also have to like plant these, and it also depends on like the setup time too, right? So like these things could be super powerful if they took a very long time to set up. I need to fix my smoothing because my brushes are laggy. That is true. Yeah. What TG Side Captain is saying is accurate. Like if you only need one of them, which I mean isn't really the case. I mean, like if one of them, if you set two of them up, they'll work. Yeah, you need two. But if you set two of them up, they'll work. Like they don't have to be plugged into anything. So by that same token, I guess the current wouldn't really change depending how far away they were for the damage. No, it'll be different than Wall of Fire. Wall of Fire is like such a weird thing for me. Like that is such like a magic hand wavium effect, saying, oh, it's only hot on one side. It's just like a little eye rolly for me. Now this will hurt if you go through one side or the other. Oh, and I guess if you're wearing metal armor, you might have disadvantage or something. Okay. So we got two of them now. Yay. Here's that last guy. Okay. Shocking Grasp is a D8, Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt is a D6. Okay. Lightning Lure is a D8. Call Lightning is a D10. Thank you for doing the math. All right, a lightning cage, yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, I'll think on that. Like, cause what happens if you're contained in like a force cage? I mean, you just can't leave it. So I'm not sure like what the difference would be if you happen to surround somebody. I mean, they're just gonna get hurt regardless of which way they go. Okay, so we're gonna make this wire again. Same process. Make sure the brush is the right size. Go. Make this 50% gray. And turn my smoothing back up to 50%. Here we go. And we'll have you come in from, we'll have you up like higher, like here maybe. Yeah, here we go. We'll make that guy a little bit crazier. Because that way they kind of like they're almost symmetrical, like symmetrical enough. That looks fine. And now let me go ahead and go re-grab that layer effect over here. Copy and paste. Make a new layer on top of it. We're gonna grab that yellow. I'm gonna switch my brushes back over here to being overlay. And because I know that I'm gonna need it, I'm gonna grab this kind of pale yellow too. Oh, you know, these could probably get turned on and off with a command word. So you could totally like, yeah, you could probably do that if you're, but then anybody could use the word. because you shouldn't have to like attune to one of these, or anything. That wouldn't make sense. Oh man, there's really no consistency at all. Ugh. Could one of them be really tangled up? Maybe. I'll think about that. I'm not gonna do it right now, but as you can see, it doesn't take a lot of effort to make these wires. So I might do that later. And just for the sake of expediency, I'm gonna hold off on that for right now. But when you see these posted, they might, one of them might be tangled up. Okay, so let's go ahead and make a shadow layer for it. Tinfoil hat. Yeah, murder hobo. Murder hobo mad scientist. Tinfoil hat. Okay, and then we're also gonna mask this at the very end here. Because we're gonna have this kind of being plugged into the other side, and then we'll show the kind of cracks. We'll show the cracks kind of creeping in from the other side. Like that. Great. Cool. And then we're just gonna put one more layer up in here. Gonna make some quick changes to the kind of structure, or like not structure, but like to the form, and kind of like indentations on this horn, just so that they're not all exactly the same. You know, we're gonna have to go through the others and like, or at least to the other one, the other side, to batter it up too. Because right now they're all the exact same shape, which ain't ideal, you know? So we're kind of masking little bits in here. Like that. Here we go. And over here too. Go to the mask here. And actually, this one I'm gonna kind of cut off the tip of it a little bit. Yeah, and Aratum, that's actually why I don't like D&D Beyond. I have everything on D&D Beyond because of the generosity of some friends, but I strongly dislike how they force you to buy everything again. I think that is just such a betrayal of its audience, and it makes me furious, honestly. I think that is just so unacceptable for a company that's like supposed to be helping people like get into the local comic book store and buying dice and stuff, or making these kind of communities, and they're just ostracizing people or making people bend over. It makes me really angry. There were so many better ways for them to handle that, and they just didn't. They willingly chose not to. Oh, I know it's not owned, but it's like I feel as though Wizards had say in there, and they just didn't. Like for as much of like, for not being owned by D&D Beyond, or by Wizards, they certainly almost like it feels like they are. They're very chummy with it. Regardless, I'm cranky. Well, I mean, like, I'm not even saying like offering them in books, because yeah, somebody could like just rip open a book and grab the code, and that sucks. But people would absolutely do it because there are bad people in the world. What I'm suggesting is more like, you give these various like stickers with codes on them to identified gaming stores, and then whenever you buy one of these books, they give you one of the stickers like in the back of the book or something. Because I would do that every single time. I would absolutely do that every single time. Like I would go to that store. I would form a relationship with those people and saying, "Oh yeah, I'm coming back for this one, for this new release or whatever." But they had the opportunity to really make something beautiful, and they were just as bad as Amazon. It's evil-ish. Yeah, like they're like, yeah, you guys are talking about it. There are just so many options that they could have pursued, but they just willingly chose not to, and it's so unacceptable. Anyways, I'm just kind of putting in some shadows here. Cool. All right, so we're looking really good here with these three fellas. Let's go ahead and I just saved. We're gonna close all these. I'm holding control, by the way, when I'm kind of toggling one of those groups in and off, or up and down, because that way, if I'm holding control, it will collapse every group within that same like level. So I just close all of them once like that, all of that once like that. And I personally fill out all of my sheets by hand. I don't like digital sheets. Anyway, so here's the fun part. Like I've been talking about, we're gonna make some lightning, guys. It's about time, right? It's only been 3 hours. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna keep our brush mode on linear dodge add, and we don't have any brush pressure on for opacity, but we do have it on for size, drinking water. How am I doing? Okay. Get my brush back to normal. Okay. And what that does is it allows us to do something like this. If I go over it, it's gonna turn like really bright and crispy. And it's gonna allow for us to have some kind of nice effects in here. Okay, so we're just gonna start making some of these fields here. And actually, you know what? I should probably wait on this because we're gonna be kind of moving these guys around a little bit. So I'm just gonna first we're gonna start positioning these. Here center, here left, here right, and we're gonna just reorganize these real quick. Okay. There we go. That's it. And that looks pretty cool. Okay. Alrighty, so you can go pretty crazy with these lines, especially because of like how intense we want this to look. And we also need to remember to put in scorch marks, Griffon, but also have some kind of like lightning jumping back and forth between these prongs. Alrighty. Thunderstruck. What a good song. That I really can't sing. I don't have a voice. Especially not after talking for 3 hours. Okay. So after we get to draw these in, we get to go back through and kind of like update some of our lighting in there. So we'll be able to put some kind of blue glows on like the inside of the wire here and on the rods, have it kind of like reflect off of like various surfaces. It'll look awesome. Bard. Zoom back out just because we want to make sure that the lighting on both sides like looks consistent. So I need to just make sure that my lines here are about right. And honestly, this guy over here isn't cutting it. So I'm just gonna take my eraser, make him look a bit more jaggy like that, and that solves that problem. Same thing with this guy here. Cool. So in case you guys didn't see the post or the bottom of the post of the vote this morning and day on Patreon, there isn't going to be a stream next week or a vote because I'll be en route to Gen Con. I'll miss you terribly. But the week after that, we're going to be doing a runners-up voting series or sequence of all the things that almost made it, all the directions that almost made it over the last month. So if you voted for Feywild or something Regal, was it Regal or was it Evil? That one that was run up the first week. It was like that, and then something Dwarvish, I want to say was the other one, and then this week something cold. So all 4 of those will be up for grabs. The next vote. So make sure you come out for that. And that stream will actually be free to watch. So tell your friends. I'll be posting links on like Instagram and Reddit and places too. I guess Twitter as well. I do so little interaction on Twitter. But if you want to show people kind of like who I am or what we're doing here, making items and stuff, get people on board, let them know. That will be a public listing and anybody can come and hang out for that while we make whatever we decide on. Oh, these yeah, it's about 3 feet. It's about 3 feet. Yeah, maybe like 3.5. Hang on, I'm looking at a yardstick over there. It's a meter stick. Excuse me. Yeah, about a meter. Okay, so these are looking okay. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna be giving them a layer style. For warning, I may go and find a file with lightning in it and just kind of grab it from there too if I can't get it quite right immediately. But I'm pretty confident that I know what it is off the top of my head. I'm just gonna clean up some of these layers or layer effects first. Okay. Okay, save, do it again. Photoshop gets pretty weird about stacking these up. I don't know why. Okay. So let's do inner shadow. We're not making it dark. We're gonna grab the same color and we're gonna do exactly what we just did with our brush, but we're gonna put on the effect here. Remove the distance, reduce the size on it, like how fuzzy it is. So it's just affecting just the bits of the corners. Now is it that or is it? It actually, I think it's an inner glow. That's what it is. Inner glow here. Here we go. That's what it is. Because it's hottest in the center. And then here, okay. And then the backs. Let's try, actually, I'll try multiply for that. Okay, so now we're just gonna go through on top of it with just some white, real fine, real carefully here. Yeah, I think that rods are like, typically if you hold them, maybe they're 2 feet. I mean, these could be 2 feet too. The most going on out of any of the items to date. Not sure. What item has so much going on? Honestly, a lot of the items that I've made on stream have a lot going on. The dragonkin weapons have a lot going on too. Shoot. trying to think of what else has a lot going on actually. You might be right though. This might have some of the most. Oh, that explains why. My flow is all weird on this. Why is my flow all weird? Settings, folks. Yeah, exactly. I don't want it to be like a low fence or anything. So I think that 3 feet is probably what we want it to do. Want it to be. Oh yeah, yeah, the Pike of the Forgotten Legion. Yeah, that one's got like, yeah, I drew like all the various like little soldiers behind it and stuff. It had a lot in there. That's true. So what I'm actually gonna do, I'm gonna make another inner shadow here, and I'm gonna make that one the linear dodge. So multiply, upping that, reducing the size. Actually, no, increasing the size. Increase the size. Move this down. Here we go. I'm mostly talking to myself at this point because you don't know what it is I'm doing. All right. Okay, so those are looking pretty mean, and we can give this a it's not. I'm putting on a drop shadow, but it's not actually. That's just the effect. Okay, so do all that. I'm gonna do it a few times. And another linear dodge on the inside, but very, very, very close to the edge. Why are you behaving that way? That doesn't even begin to make sense to me. That's weird. That doesn't even make sense. All right, I'll leave it at that. Okay, so we've got these various effects. You can see how the kind of glow on the outside of them looks. It looks pretty cool. All we need to do, we'll name this lightning. I'm sure I misspelled that. So we're gonna put these 3 rods in a single group, and that way we can make this. That way we can make a single kind of like highlight layer for all of them and have it work the way that we intend. Here we go. Overlay. There we go. So now wherever this is being affected, just kind of go over here, and you'll notice that I have my brush mode set back up to linear dodge. So we're doing that same kind of effect. Or if I draw over it again, it gets more and more bright. It gets hotter. So we're kind of doing that for bits where it's bits of the rods where the lightning is closest, like where it's touching. and kind of sparking off. And here, it's going to allow us to make kind of lighting effects on these things, like such, or like so rather. Shock trap's interesting. Yeah, I'm still not sure if you're gonna be able to like remotely detonate them or not yet. I'm not really sure how that's gonna work. But I feel as though you should. You might have to like hold, like touch one and or like set it to like a certain mode, just like to listen for a command word. Like a ready or like a standby mode or something. Yeah. Oh yeah, at least touching one of the rods. Yep. Okay, that's it. You got to be touching one of the rods. You might also have to take lightning damage to turn it off too, because if you turn them off, maybe they like last for a minute, but if you touch one of the rods too, you can say the command word again. Turn it off early. That way because these couldn't be dispelled, that would give some counterplay. Aside from probably just like attacking the rods. No, I don't think you can interact with magic items with Mage Hand, Jericho. That's interesting. Huh. Huh. Hit it with a lightning spell. Good ideas, guys. Yeah. Hey, good night, Nick. Thank you for hanging out. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I was thinking that too. Like you have to use like at least a first level spell slot or something. And like it honestly might, you might need to. Okay, like by default it does. Let's say we'll say 3d8 lightning damage, but if you jumpstart it using a spell slot of, we'll say 3rd level or higher, it does an extra 1d8 for every spell slot. For every spell slot that you use in that way. But I also want to keep these like simple enough, and not punish people who don't have a caster in their party or anything like that. So you can set it off manually or from afar. Oh boy. Oh, I saw there was a question earlier about. Oh, I'm so sorry. There was a question earlier about the cards. about how long some of them are. Oh man, I'm really sorry. Oh man, if one of you could find that, I'd like to respond to it. If the person who asked is still here. Rats. I saw that, but I was in the middle of something and I forgot to actually answer it. That sucks. Okay, so we're gonna make another color layer here, and I think this actually might be one of our last layers. Going through here, so you'll notice here that some of the layers that we just added made it look kind of like greenish or strange. So I'm just kind of going in and fixing those with a color layer instead, kind of like how we made the rods here silver again. Oh, that was you, Seth? Seth, what were you asking? I'm so sorry that I missed your question. I saw it, but then I was in the middle of something else and my brain just didn't remember to go back to it. So I'm also remembering here not to put lighting in the kind of in the area like shadow behind these rods or behind the pointy bits too. Oh, yes. So Eradim, what happens is or Seth, yeah. Exactly, yeah. The way that it works is with my cards, just to keep it simple for me, because I make them every day. I use one font size or one point size for all the cards. With the deck of many, they can go anywhere from 11 point to I try to keep them at 7.5 at the lowest, but I have gone down to 7 in I think like one instance. But if it's longer than that, it goes into 2 cards. So like the Tectonic Gauntlets are on 2 cards. I think there are like maybe 2 or so 2-carders in each pack. I'm trying to remember some of the other ones. Blanking off the top of my head. So some of Fretful stuff is, but that I think is pack 3 or 4. Yeah, the gumballs. So this is looking pretty mean, guys. I'm feeling this. This is pretty cool. Oh, and we wanted to have like a little field around these guys, like some kind of hum. So we're gonna make kind of like a more notable field or some kind of nonsense around them like this, and you'll see what I'm doing in a second. If you've seen me do fire, it's pretty similar. Or smoke even. Oh, you're of course, buddy. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you asking. And yeah, like I'm sad the cards aren't going to be available at Gen Con. I was really hoping for it. I mean, it's for the best. It's definitely for the best. I would have been really mad. You know, had I had those get released and me looking back and saying like, these are nonsense. These are imperceptible. Nobody's gonna want to like get another pack of these after this set. So it was the right thing to do, even if it made the deck of many a little cranky. Because I mean, like, if you release it, it's always out there. Like you can't unrelease it. So really need to put my best foot forward, especially in those first decks. Because not only did they need the most work, but you know they're also the first ones that people are gonna get their hands on. Okay, so we have this kind of electric clouds around these guys. We can put in some like small little lightning strikes, or little arcs of lightning, like in between them. Sorry, I would do this like that. From a distance, those look okay, which is fine. Oops. Okay, save this. Okay, we're gonna put on a couple scorch marks. Is there anything else that people are missing from this? That they think is sorely needed. Naming these scorch. A cheeky fly getting zapped? Yeah, I think we can do that. Actually, how do you... I think it'd get distracting, because you don't be able to tell if you were looking up as close as we were, you'd be able to tell. But very few people are going to be doing that. So I think I'm going to skip on that, but I like where your head's at. Probably put that in the flavor text, though. My dog is crying in her sleep. Oh, I never fed my fish his dinner. I gotta go do that once I get offline here. I sometimes feel bad for my fish, because like he can't tell me that he's hungry. He's a fish, you know? Okay. So, gonna make one more layer on here, overlay, and this is just for lighting stuff. So this is gonna be like me putting in these kind of pretty big swaths of like lights and darks, like so. Both sides on you, like that. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah. Neat. Right here. An outline of a goblin. Okay. And then from the bottoms here, we're just gonna make these darker in the bottom. So we draw, just because we draw less attention to them, because obviously all of our attention is like meant to be up towards the top where all the business is happening. Oh, and I should put some new lighting effects here on the bottoms of these, because we have this kind of like zappy cloud. That. Pretty easy, pretty gestural. Don't have to get too exact about it. All right. bottoms. Cool. All right, so you know what's left. The very last thing we got to do. Yeah, we're still live, buddy. Why are you still awake? We're wrapping up though, Dom. Okay. One of the few times where I get a watercolor splotch I'm happy with on the first try. That's right. Yeah, you were out of here when it was like a single line, buddy. Yeah, it's been a bit. So are we still cool with calling these rods of chained lightning? Is that still what we want to call it? So this is the item that's coming out tomorrow on Reddit. For those of you who are on Reddit, I'm opening it up right now just so we can grab the text layer from it. Because if you've been here before, you know that my text layers are like Tootsie Rolls, and they're always reused. Oh, good. Well, I'm sorry that you feel as you didn't play well, but I'm glad that you won. I was never very good. I was apparently I was a pretty decent halfback, but at the time I didn't know that I was really flat-footed, so my ankles always really hurt, and I had a hard time running towards like the end of the second half. Rods of chained. We'll call it chained lightning instead of chain lightning, because chain lightning is a spell, which is SRD. I could mention it if I wanted it to. If I wanted to. Rods of chained lightning. Is there a better place for this? I don't think so. No. Yep. All right, here it is. Goes right there. That's where you live now, apparently. I could probably, you know what? Here, before I say that for certain, let's go ahead and make a similar to what I did with the rods, all of them. I'm just gonna turn those layers off. Actually, first let me group them. Okay, gotcha. Group these. Here we go. Okay. Rods. I'll just flatten these, turn these off. Okay, cool. So now, making those into a smart object. Smart objects you can resize as much as you want. And if I make them smaller like this, they look a bit more detailed. But it also gives me space up top. Bolt pylons. Ooh. Zapsticks. Copyright. Sorry, I missed some of your comments, guys. Yeah, bolt pylons is interesting though. Bolt pylons are. I like the idea of arc. Yeah. It's arcing bolts? That wouldn't do it. Why don't we just call them lightning pylons? Is that an option? Like especially if we need to like say, oh, how many lightning pylons do we have? You know, we want it to be like a bit snappier. And bolt pylons might get misconstrued for like hardware tools, bolts and stuff. Light zing. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you must construct additional pylons. Yeah, it'll come with at least 2. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, okay. Scooch these down just a hair. Just got text is pretty close to the top. Lightning pylons. Power pylons. I feel as though like power pylons kind of carries with it a bit of almost kind of like an Ioun stone or like a rod of power. Is that what it's called? I can't remember. So I think I'd rather stick away from like power makes sense to us as human beings in the real world, but I think it would make less sense in this context. I know. I hate the moon. I want a Kappa, man. It breaks my heart every time. One more quick little lighting adjustment here. I just want some more blues. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, we're finishing up with 13 viewers today. That's pretty rad. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Oh, be quiet, Cortana. I wasn't talking to you. Okay. So yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. You're gonna be seeing this on Friday. Friday on Reddit. Like I said, I'll make the mechanics for it tomorrow. I'll post it up on Patreon. Give it a look there. As always, you know, the effects can change between when I post it and when you eventually actually see it officially added to Patreon. But this was a lot of fun. This was a tremendous amount of just like was mentioned earlier in chat. Like this is a lot of stuff packed into it. But it's awesome. You know, you guys always push me to make these cool things, and I'm always happy to make it. And I think this is really cool and fills in a really unique niche. So great suggestions, great directions, great interaction. Thank you guys so much for being so chatty today. This is an awesome conversations we've had for 4 hours. Just shy of 4 hours. And thank you so much for being here. You guys are great. Really appreciate you. So I won't see you next week, but I'll see you the week after. If I'll see you, if you'll be at Gen Con, hang out, come say hi. Yeah. Until then, adventurers, keep on adventuring.